I seen something yesterday, folks, that's well worth a watch if you get the chance. Well worth a watch. I've told you in the past, folks, I watch too much TV, much too much. But I look for things, I trawl through channels and look for things at the start of the week that I might want to see in the week, and often things that many people wouldn't find. I noticed advertised over the weekend, there was something on Talking Pictures yesterday. It was a little interview with Michael Parkinson by his son, Michael Jr. That took place only 2 or 3 weeks or a month or so before old Parky died. I think it was his last public appearance. If you get the chance to watch it, watch it. It was on Talking Pictures yesterday. I don't think you can download anything from there. There's no catch up. But it was that good. No doubt it'll be on again. And I've got a very quick story from it that he told. There was many stories, but I've got one quick one. But before I give you that quick story, which isn't anything too special, but it made me think. Parky came on yesterday and you could tell when, he was in a bad way. You could tell he was very, very, very slow walk-wise. Very, very slow. His talking wasn't great. I think I'd read about it when he died. I think I read in his last appearance they did something and they had to put subtitles to it. And it was this. There's one part where he's saying something and the subtitle they couldn't work out. I think they put on it rambling or incoherent. They couldn't even work out what he'd said. But although most of it was okay, you understood most of what he was saying, the subtitles did help in some parts. He looked very, very, very old. He looked very, very, very frail. Had you watched it before he died, you'd have thought, that man hasn't got long to go. He was extremely thin. His hands looked really thin and, wispy and whatever else, all deep veined everywhere. On one hand, he had a big plaster or bandage. Reminded me of the Queen, when she shook was it Trussie's hand the day before she actually died. Reminded me of the Queen then, to be honest with you, but I say he looked very frail. When he got up from the chair at the end, he actually nearly lost his balance and fell over. I felt really sorry for him. But it was a great interview. His son did a good job and it was lovely to watch because I've loved Parky for many a year. He's great at what he did, what he does. I love him. But he was telling a story there about Lauren Bacall. His son said, he said, Dad, I know when you were young, you had 3 wishes. Number 1 was to play for Yorkshire cricket, which he never did. Number 2 was to get a house across the road from Barnsley football ground, which I think he said he did. And number 3 was to kiss Lauren Bacall, which ultimately he did. I think he interviewed her 3 or 4 times before he finally threw the lips on her. I think it was when Parky went to ITV. She was older at that time. But he said he always loved Bacall. He loved all the movie stars from that golden era, male and female. But Bacall was one of his favourites. And he said a lovely woman, lovely looking and a lovely woman, a bit of a beauty. But a beauty with effort. He said she used makeup and common sense and whatever else and a brain to make her seem more beautiful, he said. And his son said, who's the most beautiful woman you've ever interviewed, Dad? He said, I do know the answer to this question. You've said it many times. He said, without a doubt, he said, Raquel Welch. And a lovely lady to boot. He said, Raquel Welch was absolutely fantastic. He said, I've never ever seen a beauty like her. He said, I don't think she needed makeup. She wouldn't have needed anything. Just an effortless beauty without any effort whatsoever, without any help whatsoever. He said she was absolutely stunning. And I must admit, as a 13, 14 and 15-year-old, I do remember those pictures we had of Raquel Welch. Was it 20,000 years BC, if I remember rightly, with that old loincloth? That was an iconic picture, even more so than the old girl taking the old tennis ball from the old Alan Wickers, with the old skirt pulled up there. I do remember those pics, but yeah, Raquel Welch, God, she was a good-looking woman. And he said she was a really, really nice woman as well, and I just thought it was a nice story. There were many other good stories on there. As I say, if you get the chance to watch it, but be prepared. Old Parky didn't look good. You'll feel a massive degree of sympathy for him, but it was big of him to come on there, to turn up and to do the interview. Many wouldn't have done. I think many would have said, no, I'm not up to that. I don't want people to see me like this. So I thought it was pretty brave of the guy. But then again, that's the kind of guy he was. The old Yorkshire grit. You can't beat it, other than Lancashire grit, of course.